Have you ever walked into a room and immediately knew something was wrong? I mean, nobody had to tell you, you could just feel it. The tension, the frustration, the uncertainty. Now, let me ask you a different question. Have you ever wondered what people feel when you walk into the room? You see, because every leader brings something with them. I mean, confidence, maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's calm, perhaps it's frustration or hope or fear. And the higher you rise in leadership, the more your temperature affects everybody around you. You see, your team watches how you respond when things go wrong. They watch how you handle pressure. They watch how you treat people when you're frustrated. And sometimes before your team hears your leadership, they feel it. So here's the question for you. When you walk into the room, what temperature are you setting? Welcome back to Rise to Lead. I'm Doran Anderson. Last week, we spoke about having difficult conversations, speaking the truth, holding people accountable, but doing it with dignity. Today, I want to talk about something just as important, and that's how you show up. Because leadership isn't only about managing people, it's about managing yourself. I've spent many years in leadership and human resources, and I've seen leaders walk into difficult situations and somehow everything begins to settle down. I mean, people focus, the conversation gets clear, and the team starts believing we can actually figure this out. But I've also seen the opposite. I mean, I've seen a leader walk into a difficult situation and everything got worse. The tension increased. People became defensive. Everyone started protecting themselves. And then suddenly that leader's reaction became the bigger problem, bigger than the problem itself. That's why your presence matter. Your tone communicates, your body language communicates, your reaction communicates. You see, you're always setting a temperature. Anybody can lead when everything is going well, but leadership is tested when pressure shows up, when the plan fails, when somebody makes a mistake, when you're short staffed and against a tight deadline, when you receive criticism, or perhaps when something happens that you didn't expect. That's when your team learns who you really are, because pressure doesn't always create character. Oftentimes it reveals it. And when pressure increases, your leadership has to become more intentional. You need to slow yourself down and ask questions, get the facts, choose your words carefully. Now, you can create urgency without creating chaos. You can hold people accountable, but without disrespecting them. I mean, you can be disappointed without losing control. That's leadership maturity. Let me say something that may be uncomfortable for some. Your employees should not have to manage your emotions. They shouldn't have to come to work wondering, what kind of mood is the boss in today? I mean, they shouldn't have to ask, is this a good time to talk to him or her? You see, if your team has to constantly monitor your mood, they're spending energy managing you instead of doing their work. I mean, of course, leaders have emotions, right? I mean, we get frustrated, we get disappointed, we get tired. We're human, but leadership requires emotional discipline. I mean, you don't have to send the email just because you're angry. You don't have to make the call while you're frustrated. You don't have to respond immediately just because someone upset you. I mean, sometimes leadership means stop, think, pray, get the facts, then respond. Because there's a difference between reacting and responding. One of the most underrated qualities in leadership is calm. I mean, calm doesn't mean passive. It doesn't mean there isn't urgency. It means the urgency around you doesn't control what's happening inside you. I mean, think about the best leaders you've worked with. Think about them. When things got difficult, did they make everybody more nervous? Or did their presence make you think, okay, we've got this? That's leadership. I mean, your calm can give somebody else confidence. Your clarity can reduce somebody else's anxiety. Sometimes leadership isn't about being the loudest person in the room. Sometimes it's about being the steadiest. Think about that, being the steadiest in the room. Not every room you walk into will have good energy. I mean, sometimes you'll walk into frustration or fear or negativity or conflict. But hear me, you don't have to absorb the temperature of the room you enter. I mean, if everybody is panicking, you don't have to panic. If everybody is complaining, you don't have to join the complaint party. If everyone is blaming, you don't have to find someone else to blame. You can change the conversation. What do we do now? What can we control? What do we need to do next to fix things? That's leadership. Great leaders don't just read the room, they change the room. There's a powerful story in Mark chapter 4. I mean, Jesus and his disciples are crossing the sea when a storm comes. I mean, the disciples are afraid. The boat is taking on water. Everything around them says panic. But Jesus isn't controlled by the storm around him at all. And there's a lesson there for all of us. Leadership doesn't mean there won't be storms, because there will be. They There will absolutely be storms around you all the time. And that doesn't mean that the storm has to become inside of you. Your faith can ground you, your values can ground you, your character can ground you. And when everyone else is asking, what are we going to do? Sometimes leadership means being steady enough to help people see the next step. Here's your weekly challenge. Before you walk into your next important meeting, before you address your team, before you make that difficult phone call, stop for 10 seconds and ask yourself, what am I bringing into the room? Is it frustration, anxiety, fear, or clarity, confidence, respect, hope, calm? And if you don't like the temperature you're bringing, change it before you walk through the door. People may forget the meeting. They may forget the presentation. They may even forget some of the words you said. But people remember what it felt like to be led by you. Did you create fear or confidence? Confusion or clarity? Chaos or calm? Every day, you're setting a temperature. So next time you walk into the room, remember this. You don't have to absorb the temperature. You can change it with your presence, with your words, with your attitude, with your character, with your faith. You see, great leaders don't just read the room, they set the temperature. This is Rise to Lead. I'm Doran Anderson. Keep rising, keep growing, and keep developing others. And remember, your team may feel your leadership before they ever hear it.